This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for January 31, 2023, double murder suspect shot dead. The Kingston Western Police says it has solved the case of a double murder committed in the division in September. This followed the fatal shooting of the prime suspect by the police last week. Investigators reported that on September 18 last year, two men, 44-year-old Garth Lyons, otherwise called Boo, and 33-year-old Richard Lyons, were fatally shot along Clarenceville Road, Kingston 5. The police say 26-year-old Ayoton Cargill, the man who was listed as the prime suspect, was shot dead during a confrontation with the police last week Monday in the Norman Gardens community. Eyewitnesses later identified Cargill as the man involved in the double murder. CAD taking more steps to accommodate crowds at the traffic court. The Court Administration Division will be moving to accommodate more people at the traffic court on Tuesday, the final day of the reprieve for outstanding traffic tickets. A larger number of people visited the traffic court's Melbourne Road location on Monday in a bid to clear outstanding tickets. The CAD said it expects an even larger crowd on Tuesday. Kadish Fletcher, Director of Client Services, Communication and Information at the Court Administration Division, said additional staff and accommodations will be provided in an effort to process people more quickly. But she cautioned that even with these additional arrangements, the process could take some time since the CAD cannot predict the number of people who will turn up.
As we speak, we are erecting additional tents. We're putting in additional chairs. We're organizing additional staff from the head office to come in. And so we're organizing ourselves for tomorrow so that we'll be able to process persons as quickly as we can. But even with those, even with all of those things, you can understand that because we can't predict the number of persons who will be coming here tomorrow, because we don't know who is coming here tomorrow, we are unable to look for the tickets until they get here. And so we will still have that process where persons will have to wait for us to locate the tickets. And in instances where we can, we will list them for court tomorrow.
Motorists are desperate to meet the January 31 deadline to avoid harsher penalties that will accompany the new Road Traffic Act and regulations to take effect on February 1. Documents revealed Bolt invested about US $6.5 million at SSL. Documents obtained by the news have revealed that Olympian Usain Bolt invested nearly US $6.5 million in his account at the Stocks and Securities Limited over the period 2012 to 2022. Over that same period, US $6.9 million was withdrawn from the Olympian's account. But according to a statement of assets dated January 11, 2023, and bearing SSL's logo, the former athlete's account with the investment firm was valued at US $12,047. On January 17, lawyers representing Usain Bolt wrote to SSL outlining that as at October 31, 2022, their client's account was valued at US $12,758,000. They demanded that the funds be returned to Bolt's account within 10 days. Following the expiration of the 10-day period and still no word on the return of the funds, Bolt's attorney Linton Gordon said he had met with a temporary manager of Stocks and Securities Limited, Kenneth Tomlinson. Mr. Gordon acknowledged that the world record holder may have to file a lawsuit in a bid to recover the missing funds. Representatives from the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation are assisting local law enforcement officers in their probe into the multi-billion-dollar fraud at the Stocks and Securities Limited. Chief Justice questions legality of evidence in Wandon gang trial. Chief Justice Brent Sykes on Monday questioned whether the evidence of one of the former gangsters in the Wandon gang trial meets the legal requirement in terms of identification about the two counts on the indictment. Justice Sykes, who is in week 2 of his summation of the evidence, questioned the ability of the witness to identify the defendants who he testified were involved in the September 2017 murder and arson attack involving Cedella Walder and Jermaine Bryan. The judge, while highlighting that the witness made no mention of any light, said the legal requirements for identification might not have been satisfied. The couple was murdered in New Nursery when reputed leader Andre Blackman Bryan reportedly marshaled a team of gangsters to the community in search of Bubba Spark, the alleged top shooter in a rival faction of the gang. Earlier in the trial, the witness named the defendants who were present at the meeting in Jones Avenue before the attack. Following the meeting, the witness said Blackman instructed him to look out for police. In examining the evidence, Justice Sykes said the witness did not indicate how he saw the defendants. He said the testimony in court failed to address the question of lighting, distance, or whether anything was impeding his vision at the time. Justice Sykes said those are critical questions, answers to which must be found in the evidence. He pointed out that neither by inference nor directly did the former gangster's evidence state the period he had the defendants under observation. After hearing the judge's query, the prosecution pointed to the evidence of a police officer who had taken photographs of light bulbs that could possibly assist. But Justice Sykes countered that the photograph was taken after the incident and there was no evidence to suggest when the bulb was turned on. The judge's summation is expected to continue on Tuesday in the Home Circuit Court. Phillips disappointed with a lack of public education on new Road Traffic Act. Opposition spokesperson on transport, Mikhail Phillips, is disappointed that his suggestion for a public education campaign on the new Road Traffic Act appears to have been ignored. The new act and regulations will come into effect on Wednesday, February 1. But Mr. Phillips, who was speaking with the news, said many Jamaicans are still ignorant about the regulations and the fines that will accompany the legislation. Up to now, we have not seen that public education campaign that the minister has spoken about for 3 years now, he complained, warning that the new laws contains drastic changes. The new Road Traffic Act promises larger fines and stiffer penalties for motorists who breach road rules.
We have not seen that public education campaign that the minister has spoken about for 3 years now. We have not seen that public education. The Road Traffic Act comes into being come February 1. There are many persons out there that is making assumption on some of what is in the act itself. There are drastic changes.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.